Good afternoon, Facebook. And hello, Lynda.
Hello.
Now, I know that the title of our show is Just Do It. And we are here and we are live and we are just going to do it. But this is our third attempt at doing a show. This one went swimmingly well. The first one we did together. Then last week, I don't know what's going on at the moment. And I'm just going to get a link. If you are watching, it does say that we're live and we're here at last. And link to the show is being posted now.
How are you guys doing today? Oh, go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm back. And we're good.
Yeah.
Right.
Take
okay.
a breath. Take a breath, Steven.
Thank you. Yes, we're here. I just explained to Lynda and apologising. I apologise to everybody who's actually watching the show as well. I had an appointment to the opticians, and it was for an hour before the show, and it was an eye test. And normally they take about 30 minutes. So I thought 30 minutes there, 20-minute walk home, 10 minutes to get ready. But the eye test took 50 minutes, which made it a little bit difficult. So I dashed out to the opticians and got here, but I got here and my computer started at 11 minutes past, which meant the show we'd organised couldn't go ahead. Anyway.
Well, can I make a confession, Steven?
Yeah, by all means do.
Okay, so for some reason I was thinking, so it's Thursday here in San Diego where I am, Thursday at 9 a.m. And for some reason I was thinking today was Wednesday. So I kept on thinking our show is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for messenger bots, because the messenger bot sent a message at 10 till 9. And I was like, oh my God, that's today. so I totally had to go and my hair was in a ball cap. I had just come from the gym. I don't have enough time to take a shower. I don't have enough time to get ready. So I'm just going to take the ball cap out, just make my hair go all weird, and I'll put on a little bit of makeup, and here I am. So here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Joining the West Coast with England. I mean, that's the magic of it, is that we can actually get together and at a moment's notice, and we did today.
Yes.
I mean, normally, planning things, is that a good idea?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. And what's going to happen is next Thursday, same time, is that Lynda's going to host the show.
Okay.
Because that way, we've got a better chance of going live on time. That's from my point. And in these days of live cross posting, then you can live cross post to the Be Live in 5 page and to the Live Video Hub and wherever you want.
Yeah.
And we'll reach new audiences. So all clouds have a silver lining somewhere. And I think the silver lining is that this is a co-hosting arrangement, and we share the responsibility.
Yeah, and the other silver lining is that we're alive, we're breathing, we're okay. There's nothing wrong with us. We're here, and we are just doing it, which is the topic of our show. And so even though last week we had a little issue, and then this week we had a little issue, but we're still doing it. And a lot of times people would say, oh, I'm just going to cancel because things didn't go the right way, or things didn't go my way. But we're not doing that. No, we're saying, you know what, it didn't go right. Let's fix it. And let's go ahead and go do it. So yay for us.
Indeed, totally. There wasn't no hesitation about actually just setting this show up and just running with it, albeit 15 minutes late. Because it's going live is important, and it's fun, and we like to reach out and network with people. And just thankful that hopefully people will find us as well. Although if one person finds us, that's success, isn't it?
Yes, of course. It only takes one person to give them a different perspective from what they're doing in life or what have you, and in order to make a difference, right? It only takes one person. So we're here, and we're hopefully that we'll be able to give some value today to you guys. What is it that you're looking for? What is What is it that you're hesitating on? Because the thing is, like, we hesitate on things. There's the word procrastination, which I have a program called Procrastinators Anonymous. We talk about procrastination. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that they're not really procrastinators. They just overload themselves with too many things to do. And so they can't possibly do it all, which is kind of cool if you think about it. But a lot of times when we do hesitate to do something, it's because we're too scared. We're too scared to put ourselves out there. So what are you scared of doing that you could maybe get some, tips, advice, tricks, or whatever from us that can help you to just do it? Because by not doing it, you're not doing anything. You got to put it out there and you got to just do it.
Well, you're also creating a problem for yourself, because if you don't do it, you're going to keep thinking about it, aren't you?
Yeah, I know you. I don't know about you, but I kick myself.
You either think about it consciously, or you're just about to go to bed and you think, I haven't done that.
Yes.
And it weighs on your mind, and you wake up in the morning and you think, I've still got to do it. I've still got to do it. So just doing it doesn't matter how well. You always do your best, but if you just go ahead and do it, then things are a lot easier, especially with live video. I mean, we know a lot of people who think twice about coming on camera. And they are this sort of a form of procrastination, because they've got the personality, they've got the content, they've got the technology and be live, but there's just this hesitation about going live because they don't want to go in front of people, and they're in front of people every day.
Right.
I mean, like being live and going out to a networking meeting or going to meet friends, that's scarier sometimes than
I agree.
Going on live video.
I totally agree. Like, I could totally just be on camera 24 hours a day. First of all, it's a lot easier to be on camera than it is to type. And then when I type, I fix my typos. But when I speak, I don't fix any speakos, because it's spoken. It's been spoken. So.
Yep, it's gone. I mean, Facebook's working on a rewind button, but as co-host of the show, we don't have a rewind button. If we misspeak, then that's it. It's on the recording forever and a day. Yeah. But I don't know. I think procrastination is in some ways good, but in the majority of times, if you just do it, then life will be a lot easier.
Yeah, because there's this thing called analysis paralysis. Have you heard of that?
I have now.
Okay, it's when you overanalyze a situation. So, for example, I'll give a situation for me. In 2015, I faced a fear every single day, and that helped me to be able to overcome a lot of fears. But a lot of the fears that I had really were fears because I was overanalyzing the situation. So, for example, say there was a potential client and I needed to call that person. I would have all these reasons not to call that person. I would be, well, what if I say the wrong thing? I want to make sure I write my script out. I want to make sure I have all these key words. I want to make sure I know how to sell to them. All these, like, totally overanalyzing a freaking phone call. So then I finally pick up the phone. I get on the call with them, and it's just an amazing conversation, which in my head, I worked it out to be this horrendous, like I was going to be attacking a dragon or something. And I really worked it up into be the situation that it really wasn't. So I wasted time. I wasted energy. Then when I finally got on the call, it was amazing. So I've learned now, because of that year of fears, I've learned how to just like cut to the chase, and I don't do that analysis paralysis anymore. And I say, oh, what's stopping me? I figure it out, and then I go do it anyway. Like, just do it. I just do it.
Yeah, I mean, over analyzing a situation, it's a strange phenomenon, isn't it? That we want to be so prepared for something that we over prepare.
Yes.
and then when we get there, it's as you just said, it's not as bad as we thought it would be. And certainly in some shows that I do, we do tend to prepare a little too much, but it's a lot better when you just come on camera and it's free flowing. I mean, like we're just having the conversation now, we're tossing topics around. Yeah. And this is a great way to brainstorm, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Because if you're over prepared, then you're not prepared for the unexpected, right? Because you're so prepared that if something unexpected happens, like what happened to us, both of us this morning, it was funny that I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be on time. And then you weren't on time. I was like, oh, maybe today's not Thursday. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh yeah. So I kept on checking the time. So it's okay though, because we weren't over prepared. We weren't stressed when something got thrown at us differently. And that's why I think over preparing it has its places. Like if you're in science, if you're a doctor, okay, maybe being over prepared is a good thing. But, you know, when you're just going through life, when you're like, we're hopping on to do a live video, we're just doing a conversational exchange. How can we prepare for that? We can have questions set up for each other. And then I don't know about you, Steven, but sometimes when people send me questions to ask them for my interviews, I totally forget to ask them those questions. Because I get into conversation, like I'm speaking to a human being. It's like the questions to me that they want me to ask them. I'd rather ask them questions that the listeners want to hear, not the questions that they want to make sure that I pinpoint exactly what they want me to pinpoint.
Well, you find as well in when, you know, you do ask for questions, you get PR type questions back.
Yes.
Rather than being questions which give an insight into who they are and why they do what they do and how they enjoy it and how they can help people, it tends to be an advertisement.
Yes.
And that's why it's a lot easier when you actually meet somebody to actually say, right, okay, can we talk a little bit about it, and then lead on from that. And the conversation can go anywhere then.
Totally open. And you being able to ask the questions based on their responses, to me, that has more value, because there's other people out there probably wanting that question to be asked.
Yeah.
But if you follow their script, just like you said, it's a PR move. It's just advertisement. Hi, content makers.
It is. Thank you for the thumbs up as well. It is. What people want when we're actually talking to somebody live on there, what people want to know is the things that people wouldn't normally talk about, and to actually reveal more of themselves than they do in a recorded video that they've done specially, or a book, or anything. You want to go be underneath and actually get to know people and give them a chance to speak about their passion. And that's the magical part of it. That's basically where you get a conversation flowing and you can back topics between each other. It makes for more interactive viewing, and people become more interested in it than they do if it's pre-prepared speech, which also sometimes happens.
Well, you can tell when, like, let's say a movie star is on a tour, right? They're going to all the different channels. They're in all the magazines. And you can tell that the questions were sent because it's the same questions over and over and over. But you know, I want to know, like, when you were a child, what the heck made you get into that? Like, you're now like this box office hit. Like, did you always want to be a movie, like a mega movie star, or did you like stumble into it one day, or like how did it happen? Because I want to know as a human being how that might be able to happen for me. I want to relate it back to me, because when I can relate to you, then now we can have a conversation. If I can't relate to you, we're not going to be able to converse with each other.
No. And if I can relate my experiences to your experiences, then you won't believe what happened there.
What?
Siri decided to make an entrance.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, yeah. On my computer. Right, okay. Yeah.
Siri wants to join the conversation. Come on, Siri. Yeah. I love it.
Right. So, yeah, basically, when you can sort of get people to share their experiences, and you can identify with something that's happened to them and look at the way that they've achieved what they've achieved. From your point, you're interested in what, not what's in it for me, but, well, a sort of mini what's in it for me thing. Yeah. You want to know how certain things are done. And if there are any, and you want to know any shortcuts as well.
Especially those, right? Because gosh, you know, I can go bumble through and make all the mistakes that you already made, but shoot, if you can save me time, you can save me money, you can save me frustration, you can save me aggravation. There's so many things you can save me if I go to somebody who's doing what I want to do. It's like mentors, coaches, like that's why they're so valuable and important in business, especially because it can save you a lot of money. But even personally, because it can save you, like I said, aggravation, frustration, what have you.
It can save you going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
And that's it. We sort of block out our journey as how we're going to get from where we are to where we're going. And we've got stepping stones along the way. But if the path that we've designed is wrong, then we're never going to achieve what we want to. I'll give you a case in point. This is a practical case. We all want to play live video on the BeLive.tv show.
Mm-hmm.
And BeLive TV, we can't do it. But if we could play an intro and an outro, or we could play a video as an example and talk about it. So I decided I was going to find out more about this. So I went and got vMix, and I've been trying for the last week or so to actually do it on my own. I set up my own path. Mm-hmm. I know nothing now. I want to have recorded video playing on BeLive. That was the goal. But I totally got it wrong. Fortunately, today I spoke to Tom Sinclair for an hour. Mm-hmm. And he's a vMix distributor. Which is absolutely brilliant, because he said, I told him what I was doing, and do you know the first thing he said? He said, I wouldn't have done it that way. coming from a vMix point of view, he said, don't, it's like when you ask directions for going somewhere, and somebody says, well, I wouldn't start from here. How do I get? So I now have I've got the same goal, but I've got a different path. And because Tom told me about it, I know it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And that's basically sharing knowledge and experiences. So he shared his experience, and I was able to buy into that and alter not my goal or starting point, but the way I actually got to my goal. And that's something that we can do within shows as well, because if we can interview people and dig deeper than the superficial questions, we can get people to share their expertise.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So I've interviewed over 200 people so far on my show. And what I find is we start at the surface level in the conversation, and then that's how you chip away. So it's almost as if you have to chip away their apprehensions or whatever. Yeah. And then when I show them that, I'm a real person and I'm really deeply interested, I really am interested to find out more. And so the questions can always go to just a deeper level. And it's really cool. And I can tell, it's interesting. I interviewed somebody, I'd say, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she was never able to get below the surface. No matter what questions I asked, it kept as a topical conversation. So it was really interesting, because I love to get, deep. I love to get, down into the dirt and the weeds of it. And she just wouldn't let me go there. It was very interesting. And I recognized it within about the first 5 minutes. I was like, this is going to be a long interview, because it was a half hour long. And I was like, I'm going to keep trying though. Just keep trying. And we just never went there. It's very interesting. Before we started the interview, we actually hopped on a call like a week before, and she told me some really deep stuff. And so I tried to go there, but she wouldn't go there on the video, which is fine. And I totally get it. I personally, I'll say anything. I have nothing to hide. And so if you ask me a question, I will answer honestly, but some people aren't ready to go there yet. And that's okay.
Oh yeah. I agree. If you want to tell your story and defend part of your territory which you don't want to share, then that's your decision and your choice.
Yeah.
But it's a much richer, deeper experience for everybody when you do when you are open and share, and people can get involved in what you're doing.
Right. And that's how we have the relationships, right? Because relationships really are like real relationships, real and raw, are based on the deep connections that we have. It's not the superficial stuff, because otherwise it's a superficial relationship. So when you can get deep into, something of somebody, then you might have that connection. Now, maybe I personally won't have that connection, but maybe somebody in my audience will have that connection to that particular situation. And that's that person you're going to connect with, is by letting yourself be vulnerable, share who you are, be honest and open. And that's where your true connections are made.
That's right. And an exemplar of that is Jeff Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he does his show, you know, we're doing the show at 3 p.m. Eastern today, he shares his life. He shares how he feels about life, how he's dealt with certain situations. Because like all of us, it's been a roller coaster of happenings throughout his life and his emotions as well. And he shares his emotions. He's not being factual. He's actually sharing his life with everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
he's one. I mean, when you can do that, I think then when you can be totally open, then that's for live broadcasting. That's when people start to identify with you. Because if you talk about who you are and what you do and what problems you've had and how you solve them and how you've not solved them, then people will come in and join in on your journey and will give you possible solutions.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever heard this saying, and I love it. It's so amazing. That's your mess is your message.
Okay. Yep.
So the message that I have to share is the message of the mess that I had in my life before I got to where I am today. Because where I am today, some people can't relate with that. Some can, but some can't. So my potential clients are probably the ones that cannot fully relate to who I am today, but they're like, I want to be like her, or I want to have what she has, or I want to do what she does. But how did I get here? It's through my mess that got me to where I am today. So when we share our mess, that actually is our message. And that's where people truly, truly relate to us on a human being level.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And that's why I enjoy watching the interviews that you do, because you do get people to open up and talk about things which matter to them and which also matter to the audience as well. Say hello to Niels, I think, who's joined us.
Hi.
Hang on.
I can't see the names.
Nadine. Evodia
Kalu. Welcome. And Dale Williams also.
Oh, brilliant.
Right? I see names there. Fernando and Jason. Content makers. I like that. What's your real name, content makers?
His real name is Jason. And you know him as Jason Franco.
Okay. And, hi, Jason.
He's one of the best video makers, commercial video makers in our circle. And he started a series of shows where he's taking us behind the scenes on how he works his magic. And it's very interesting, things that we can all learn from. And he's a big supporter of the Live Video Hub. And we're all part of the same sort of circle of friends, really. We're all, and the circle gets bigger every week.
Yes.
As more and more people get involved. And
that's what we want, right? We want them to. So here's the beauty of it. You know, we are able to be like the newscasters were 3 years ago. We are able to have our own show. We're able to have our topic to share what we want to talk about, to bring on the guests that we want to bring on, the guests that we think people would be interested in hearing. And we can be somebody who is, you know, a mother who never makes it out of her house, but she's being interviewed on live TV. You know, it's so amazing. It's so incredible.
Well, it opens up the world. And Brigetti's joined us. And
hello, hi, Brigitte.
Brigetti is in Cape Town in South Africa, and she is Brigetti and I broadcast on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and she's saying hi to both of us. So Brigetti's saying hi, Lynda and Steven. Brigetti and I have been broadcasting. We've just done a year of shows, quite amazingly, broadcasting together. And Brigetti in Cape Town, I'm in the UK, and we just get on so well. And it's basically when you find, I mean, this is the thing about a show. If we talk about a show, you can do a show on your own, you can do a show with guests, but when you find somebody you can co-host with and get on with and share values with and bounce ideas off, then that's the magical part. And as you can see, Brigetti knows Franco or Jason. So, yeah. I mean, Brigetti, if you could, right, Brigetti, if you're around because we need to pick we said when we started this idea, we'd pick a guest each to bring on the show.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's okay. I forgot too. Bridgetti's just reminded me. Bridgetti or Jason, if you'd like to be a guest on the show next week, then okay. And we're officially open for business now. Tish has joined us.
Hi, Tish.
And Jason is just amazing, and he is very. What does he say? He's very kind. Well, it's basically we all agree on it. I think Tish and Bridgetti and I and Lynda would all agree when we watch your shows. Right, everybody's talking to each other now, so we can just have a chat and they can chat to each other. And,
there we go.
You know,
I always like that.
I love the fact. Now, just for anybody who's caught us late, we didn't in fact start on time, which was down to my fault for overbooking myself, overreaching myself. I was just doing it, but I was just doing too much.
Okay, have any of you ever overbooked yourself? I mean, come on, Steven, we all do it. I mean, it's all good. It's all good.
Right, and we've been joined by. Right, Bridgetti, if you want to hop on, brilliant. So, Bridgetti, if you could join us next week, same time, that would be brilliant. And Be Live in 5 have joined us as well. Now, if Bridgetti's got her own account, then Be Live in 5 this time round is April Roger. So, hello, April.
Oh, that was me on accident.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, that was me. Okay. I forgot to change it to me. So now I'm back as me.
We're all good. Right, this is going to be a regular weekly show when we get our act together, and as part of getting my act together is that
I'll be like leading the. I'll set it off into motion.
Lynda is hosting the show next week. It will be on 10 pages. It will start on time, and it will just be a blast.
Yes.
Third time lucky.
Yes, and we'll have Bridgetti joining us, and then I'll find a guest as well. We should come up with a topic maybe, so that way when we bring our guest on, they can know what we're going to be talking about. Maybe at least just like a broad something or other. I don't know.
Right.
What do you think? We'll think about it.
Oh yeah, totally. And Bridgetti's saying, I thought you were having tech issues. Not tech issues, time issues, and internet's not been too good today. They're installing fiber. Oh, wow.
Lucky.
Very lucky.
Yeah. Overcommitting and overbooking. You know, I used to do that a lot more. And then I started this thing. I learned about this thing called time blocking. Have you ever heard of that?
No. Off we go.
Oh my gosh. Time blocking has literally changed my life. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't overbook and don't overcommit, but I'm going to say that I don't overbook and overcommit nearly as much as I used to. And this time blocking, what you do is you actually block out in your day every minute of what you're going to do. And it might sound like overly cumbersome, but what I found is that it keeps me committed to keeping myself like say, for example, I block out an hour and a half for me time. I take that hour and a half for me time, which I didn't take before. So that's very important right there for personal development, right? You know, to make sure that you're spending time with yourself, you know, whatever it's personal development or just meditating or whatever it is. And then at the same time, it's made it so that my to-do list, they become to-done lists, and I actually get them done. And before, my to-do list would just grow and grow and grow because I was so frazzled. I was overbooking myself. And we can't do more than one thing at a time. You know, it's not really possible, even though we talk about multitasking, really your brain cannot do more than one thing at a time. There's been studies on this. So by being able to actually, you know, put yourself into one task at a time and completing it, it just makes life so much better, so much easier. Not easier, but better.
Now, that sounds most interesting, most useful.
Well, I actually have a document if I can share it with everybody. It's a free download. I have to make sure I remember what the Okay, so it's livinglive.tv/time blocking. And I'll put it in the comments.
Right.
But that document can help you. It's helped a lot of people. It helps me. I use it all the time. And it's just taught me how to do time blocking to better track my time and to be more realistic about how much time it actually takes to do certain things. There's an exercise in there that has you go for a whole week writing down everything you do. So you can see that you don't really have 36 hours in a day. That was me. Everything it's like you write down everything you think you do in a day, and then you actually write what you actually do. And I found that the things that I thought I did, I thought I was spending 36 hours a day doing stuff, which is impossible. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I thinking? So it's awesome.
Bridgetti's saying,
Cool.
Thanks, Lynda. And she'll
You're
have a
welcome.
look at that. I'm going to have a look at it too. I'll report back next week. I'll start tomorrow.
Please do. Okay.
I'll report back next Thursday.
What time is it where you are, Steven? It's evening, right?
It's 10 to 6 at the moment.
Okay.
5:50 p.m.
Okay, cool.
Right. Okay. Now, when we started this, we said we'd go for about half an hour. We've gone for longer than that.
I can't help it. I just keep talking.
I love listening and talking. So we're it's all good. And
I love listening too. I should have thrown that in there. I love listening too.
We'd like to thank everybody who's joined us today.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for staying around. And we will see you, as Lynda's organising next week, we will see you at the same time next week. I'd like to say thank you to people who not mentioned so far. That's Erica and to Mohammed, who joined us. You'll catch us on the same page next week. We'll be in probably a lot of different pages next week. But thank you for joining us. And it's goodbye from Wiltshire in England and over to Lynda.
I just want to say shout out to Kristen Miracle. She's one of my clients. Hi, Kristen. I'm glad you could join us. And everybody else, thank you so much for being here. We really love just sharing from our heart what it is that we're working on, what it is. We all have different experiences in life. And if we are able to, Steven or I or any of our guests are able to impart knowledge to help somebody do something different in their life, that's what we're here for. And we're here to just do it. So we will see you next week. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye now.